Hello, namaskar and adab to all my friends from your friend, astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel, Astrology. One of the things which is always on our minds and bewilders us, and also this is a question which troubles us sometimes, is especially during tough times, that am I doomed, and is there a problem or challenge in my life? Has karma caught up with me, or I'm not such a bad person, I'm a good person at heart, I help people and I have good values, strong values, I'm a principled person. Then why does it happen that my life is jinxed or I face such troubles? And I'm always almost short of money and I don't get promotions easily. I am not very lucky as some others are who are less qualified than me, who work less harder than me. Why is it that I don't get as good results as others? Is it because of some bad yogas in my horoscope, or are there bad placements, or are there bad doshas because of which I am facing problems either in money or health or job? So what is the challenge? So especially if their horoscope does show some challenges, then people also have many questions that whether X will happen or Y will happen. So I want to answer today through this video about whether are we really doomed, or is life going to be full of challenges and failures and difficulties if we have some bad aspects, bad conjunctions, bad yogas in our life. So let's deep dive into it. Firstly, what are bad yogas or doshas? Now for us, bad yogas or doshas are those which bring us challenges in terms of money or health or relationships or reputation, or problems with the government or law, or issues around children, or issues around gain, or some of the other challenges around accidents happening, or we are not able to get a due, sometimes facing challenges during our childhood, parents not being very supportive, we are facing multiple love failures. So all these are what challenges we see through our prism. Now what are the shlokas, and what does theology, or what does the science of astrology tell us? It tells us that the challenges that we face in life are nothing but to help us to get higher in the realm and towards the supreme energy. These challenges are not to put you down, these are tests, and more than tests, these are experiences that we need to go through. So unless we go through an experience, only then do we graduate. So it is like passing a 7th or 8th standard to get into the 8th or the 9th standard. So unless we are able to qualify to rise higher in the spirituality realm, we will not be able to do that. And so these difficult yogas or doshas, as we may see them, are nothing but these are opportunities for us to experience them, and based on how we react, how our karma is, we raise ourselves up in higher realm, one more step towards going towards the supreme energy. That's how the Srishti or creation sees these challenges, and these are seen as opportunities by the deities, that this opportunity is given to X or Y or Z, and let us see how they are able to move forward. We don't see them as opportunities, we see them as difficulties, and because we see them as difficulties rather than opportunities, we handle them from more of a materialistic point of view rather than approaching them from a submissive or spiritual point of view. And that's where, because of the challenge in language or approach, or how we see things, because of that we don't understand the language of the deities, and that's why we run behind materialistic pursuits and we lose the opportunity of really using these challenges, hard tasks, to raise or go ahead. Now it is easier to say just submit and fall in line and be spiritual. It is difficult to be able to face these challenges. So some of these doshas can be in the form of a Strapit dosha, for example, between the Rahu and Saturn, or a Vish dosha between Saturn and a moon, for example, or it could also be a Guru Chandal between a Rahu and a Jupiter. So these challenges may come and you may face a huge challenge in your life. So Based on where these planetary placements happen, the doshas may happen, we may also face challenges accordingly. So for example, if we say we have a Shapit dosh between Rahu and Saturn in the Lagna, is the life difficult throughout our life, and are we doomed throughout our life? No, that is not the case, because the planets are stronger during their dashas and antardashas, or they are activated more strongly, or they manifest more strongly during their dashas or antardashas, and also when the transit happens over the same placement that which is there in the horoscope. So what one should do is follow a simple rule. Before the dasha or the antardasha is upon you, say for example for a Shapit dosh between Saturn and a Rahu in the Lagna, if Jupiter Saturn dasha is about to happen, then a couple of months before the Saturn antardasha happens, and Saturn is placed in the Lagna or going to transit over the Lagna, be sure that there is going to be something around your health or your reputation or your standing in society. All you need to do is, before the antardasha is upon you, prepare for it. How do you prepare for it? Now we know generally Saturn may bring about some challenge related to these when it is transiting over the Lagna or it is placed on the Lagna in the natal chart. That is, it may bring you challenges in health, it may bring challenges in reputation, in your standing in society, or it may also bring challenges where your work, because of work, your work getting affected, losing your job or losing in business, you lose your reputation in society as well. So these things may come by. So see where Saturn is placed and which houses Saturn rules, and are there any bad aspects on Saturn. Based on that, see where the challenges may come from. So for example, if Saturn is in the Lagna and Mars is in the 10th house, and Mars with its 4th aspect is aspecting Saturn, then it could be that there could be some aggression either from you or from somebody else, because of which there may be issues regarding health. You may get injured, you may even have a small accident, or you may be over aggressive at work, or you may be seen as over aggressive at work, and because of which your either you are not getting given the role, or role change can be there, or you may even lose your job, or your health may be impacted, your blood pressure may go up because of Mars and Saturn, the energy is getting involved. So these are some of the tentative things which may happen. So all you need to do is be better prepared. So for example, 2 to 3 months before the Saturn antardasha happens, with Mars aspecting Saturn in the Lagna, ensure that you have in good health. You have your vehicles checked up, well serviced, so that you reduce the chances of an accident or a breakdown of your car. Drive the car slowly, or keep a driver, or try to avoid driving yourself for those first 2-3 months before you prepare yourself, and be in the best of health. Improve your relationships with your supervisors and managers. So do these small things before the dasha antardasha is upon you. So what happens is, when you are in the peak of your preparation, when it happens, you're already prepared. You're already prepared, and so you have taken care of those things which may happen. So it's like, if you know that there is a leakage in the terrace and the monsoon is going to start, the first thing you do before the monsoon comes is repair the hole in the terrace so that the water doesn't seep in through. As simple as that. So that's how you should see dashas and antardashas. If say for example, if there is a Vish dosha in between Moon and Saturn in the 4th house, then what do you need to do before, say for example, the dasha or antardasha is Moon upon you? Moon represents caring, and 4th house also represents domestic peace, your domestic happiness, your mental peace. It also represents immediate family members and your house and your vehicles. So that means you need to have, there may be somebody in your relations also who may fall sick. Mother's health may be under concern. Something related to the house, or notice, or repair, or if you are in rented house, the owner may come and ask you to vacate. So certain things of this nature may come upon you. You may be forced to let go of your car, or you may travel to a foreign region where you can't take your car along, and then there you may need to buy a new car. So some pushback may happen because of the Vish dosha in your 4th house. Or a family member may also get sick because the Vish dosha getting involved. Either your spouse or your mother may also face some health challenges. So what do you do just before the Vish dosha happens? you prepare yourself. You first ensure that a regular health checkup of mother and spouse, for example, happens, and then everything in the house is well taken care of. There are no repairs left. The cars are serviced, for example, and ensure that your rent and everything is paid, your property taxes are paid, and everything is in order. Your books, your documentation, everything is in order. So then you ensure that before the dasha is upon you, you are well prepared and easy to face those issues and challenges as well if you see something coming by. So these are small preparation points for you which will help you tide over challenges when they happen. And it is not that because you have a certain placement and the dasha, the antar dasha starting, you are doomed. So during the dasha of Saturn or a moon, if there is a wish dosha in your lagna or the 4th house or even in the 10th house or in the 8th house, doesn't mean you will get hospitalized, you will get sick, you will lose money, somebody in your family may lose their health or be hospitalized or may even die. Nothing of these sort. Some serious things may happen, but some niggling issues may happen. Some of them may be more serious. Being better prepared also helps you to handle these challenges in the long run as well. With Rahu and Jupiter, Guru Chandal, for example, just before the dasha, be prepared, because Rahu may bring in some malefic energies. Somebody may try to manipulate you, somebody may try to cheat you, hoodwink you, somebody may get you to sign some documents because of which you may lose money. Some fraud may happen, even online fraud may happen. So just be a little careful. Don't loan anybody money without being absolutely sure that the money is going to be returned. Don't take unnecessary loans. Sign and look at all your printed, even the fine print before you sign any documents, and ensure that you look at all the all sides of a deal before you sign a deal. Once you take care of all of this, then the chances that Rahu Dasha may be able to hoodwink you, manipulate you or to lose is substantially reduced. There are no guarantees that you may be able to tide over all the challenges, but most of them you will be able to avoid if you are better prepared. So hard aspects, challenges or doshas or conjunctions are nothing but issues that you need to face to be able to experience and then move ahead. Let's look at some of the shlokas which in the ancient texts tell us about what are some of the challenges which may come about us and how can we be better prepared. For example, one of the things which is very important is the question, why were we born and is there a reason, and why were we born in a certain age or a period or with a certain family with a certain ascendant and certain planetary placements. So some of these questions could be answered through the placements that we find or the doshas that we find in important houses. In the lagna, challenges show that the challenges are more about yourself. The focus should be on self. The improvement should be on self. If they happen in the 4th house, then it means that you need to be able to do your duty towards family better, towards assets better, not be manipulative about your material life, your materialistic pursuits like house, and property and so on. And it is also to understand that, especially when we have both good and bad placements in the horoscope, that we were sent to experience love, happiness, sorrow, comforts, friendship, tragedy as well as death, and we were sent to achieve patience when we experienced tough periods, achieve resilience when we experienced tough periods over a long period of time, achieve humility when we experience failure, and success, achieve pardon through seeking forgiveness when we faltered and experienced a mistake, and so on. Experiencing exhilaration when we go on an adventure, achieving pleasure when we experience love making, and all these come to us naturally and instinctively. It is these tougher experiences which make us tougher. Tougher experiences naturally are as we see it. Nature or Srishti or creation or astrological placements don't see any particular placements as good or bad or easy or tough. They are just combinations of various experiences granted to us to achieve. For example, the Phala Deepika says, अहिंसकस्य दान्ततस्य धर्मार्जित धसस्य सर्वदा नियमस्तयस्य सदा सानुग्रह graha. I translate quoting, one who does not want others to be killed, has control on his senses, which is behavior and mind, earns his living in a righteous manner, always follows the rules and principles laid down in the scriptures, the planets are always pleased with him, that is, they are always favorable to him. And so you will find that when planetary placements are strong or weak in your horoscope, if you follow a life of integrity, if you follow the moral compass, and if you don't cheat, if you don't be disloyal, then there are high chances that the deities which rule the planets will also support you and they will stand by you. Sometimes people ask as to why, in spite of various Raja Yogas and exalted planets, yet their condition is not great from a worldly point of view. Also, we sometimes see that in spite of seemingly challenging placements of planets, some individuals seem to be at peace, happier, blissful and satiated. The answer lies in the attitude and action that the individual takes. If we submit to planetary placements without looking at them as good or bad or easy or tough, but just experiences that we need to go through and achieve better behavior and better actions, then the planetary deities tend to give better results. And this is so fundamental. So life is neither hard or easy. It is a set of experiences which we need to go through and come out on the other side as intact as we started off. As the Gita says, Tulsa Ninda Stutir Mauni Santushto Yena Kenchita Aniketa Sthir Matir Bhaktiman Priyo Nara. Translating, I quote, he for whom praise and criticism is the same, is contented, has no house of his own to live in, and lacks material desires, has a stable mind, such a devotee is dear to me. So, such a person who is devoted, who is submissive, and whose heart is full of charity and love and affection, and supports and services humanity, there even the deities will reach out to you and stand by you and support you. As it is said in the Valmiki Ramayana, Yada charati kalyani shubham va yadi va shubhama tadeva labate bhradre karta karmaj atman. I translate quoting, whatever auspicious or inauspicious deeds man does, he gets happiness or agonies accordingly. So if we want to experience happiness, then we need to develop a happy attitude and try to keep others happy rather than create unnecessary issues in people's life. If we want to avoid failure, then we need to try and see whether how we can help others succeed. If we want to keep problems at bay, then we need to help others to solve their problems. As the Kathopanishad states, Vijnanasa rathiryasto mana pargrahvana naraso dhavana parmaproti tadvishwano parmam padam. I translate, illumine your intellect with divine knowledge, then with the illumined intellect control the unruly mind to cross over the material ocean and reach the divine realm. So controlling your mind and being submissive, being grateful, being thankful is important for us to reach the higher realms, to reach the highest energy itself. And so controlling the unruly mind is most important through submission, through gratefulness, and to be prepared. And to conclude, this shloka is a very important one. Atma sahita mansa man indriye swarate Chendriyamiti Kramesh Shigra Yogayamev Manasu Kimagayamasti Yasmin Mano Vrajati Tatra Gatogya Matma. I quote, the soul combines with the mind with the senses, and the senses with their respective objects. This takes place in quick succession. The connection being such, is there anything unattainable for the mind? And whither the mind goes, thither goes the soul too. This means that it is the mind which is at the base of our problems, of our challenges. If you are able to control the mind, make it submissive to the higher energy, and be grateful, be thankful, reach out to others to help others, service humanity, and not chase material benefits or material desires, and lead a life of contentment, of following the rule, following order, following dharma and our duty, then we will obviously face less challenges because the deities will be on our side. So please use this advice from the Supreme Energy and lead our lives accordingly with the right attitude and the right behavior. So friends, this is my analysis of whether because of some challenging planetary placements we face challenges all our lives, or are there ways and means for us to lead easier lives and a life of more gratefulness and contentment. So friends, please like this video, please share this video, please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my new video is coming. Please subscribe to my channel. If you are looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below in the description box. Until we meet some other time, this is your friend, astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.